dear students, and welcome to Luminous Learning. Today we are going to solve question number 1, bit 3 of exercise 2.2. Again, we have to do two things here: find the zeros and verify the relationship between zeros and coefficients. So, as we have seen in the previous questions as well, and we know that the standard form of a quadratic polynomial or a quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c. For an equation, we write equal to 0. Otherwise, we don't write equal to 0. So here we have 6x square minus 3 minus 7x. Now, if we look carefully, the middle term should have x and the last term should be a constant, that is without any variable. So here this question has not been arranged in standard form. So we first rewrite it, arranging it in the standard form. So 6x square minus 7x minus 3. Now it is in the correct format. So if we don't put it in the correct format, then our answer, our calculation, everything will be wrong, because the method and the steps are according to the standard form of the equation. So always pay attention to whether the equation is presented in standard form or not, and if it is not, then we have to write it in proper form. Then we note down a, b and c, that is 6 minus 7 and minus 3. Now to factorize, first we multiply a and c. So a is 6 and c is minus 3. So we get minus 18. Now minus 18, or actually 18, is the number which we are going to use to split the middle term. Now the middle term is minus 7x. So we have to find two terms from which we get minus 7. So how do we find it? We find the factors of 18. Now factors of 18 are 6 into 3, 18 into 1 and 9 into 2. These are the different factors of 18. Now which of these we have to use? We will use those factors which will give us minus 7. So 6 and 3 will not give us minus 7, whether we add or subtract. 18 and 1 will also not give us minus 7, whether we add or subtract. But 9 and 2, if we subtract it, we will get minus 7. But then we have to take minus 9 and plus 2. So we have to be careful about the signs. So minus 9 plus 2 will give us minus 7. So here we will split the middle term minus 7x and write it as 6x square minus 9x plus 2x minus 3. Now this middle term, we have split it into minus 9x and 2x. Now again we have to find the common factors from all the terms. So 6x square can be written as 2 into 3 into x into x. Minus 9 can be written as 3 into 3 into x, 2 into x and 3 into 1. Now we'll pick up the whatever is common between the first and the second term. So between the first and the second term, we see that 3x is common in both the terms. So we take 3x out, and what is left is 2x. So we write 2x inside, then put the minus sign, and then we write 3. Next is plus. Now nothing is common in the third and the fourth term. So when nothing is common, that means that 1 is the only common factor there. So we take 1 as common and the rest of it we put inside the bracket. So now rearranging the terms, we have 3x plus 1 as the first factor and 2x minus 3 as the second factor. So we have factorized our polynomial. Now to find the zeros, as we have already seen, that zeros means the values of x which can make the entire polynomial equal to 0. So in this case, if we multiply these two and we want it to be equal to 0, then at least any one of them should be 0. Either 3x plus 1 should be 0 or 2x minus 3 should be 0. So now we get the values of x. Since it is a quadratic polynomial, whenever we find the zeros, we always have two zeros, that is two values of x. So minus 1 by 3, and the second value of x is x equals to 3 by 2. So we have found the zeros, and the zeros are minus 1 by 3 and 3 by 2. Now the second part of the question is that we have to verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. So now we will try to find two results and we will compare them. Now sum of zeros is equal to minus 1 by 3 plus 3 by 2. We solve it, we get 6 in the numerator, and then minus 2, and then plus 3 plus 9 equal to 7 by 6. And then the product of zeros will be equal to minus 1 by 3 into 3 by 2. So here we can cancel 3 and 3 because it is a product. So whenever numbers are multiplied, the numerators and denominators get cancelled. So we get minus 1 by 2. So this sum and product which we have found from using the zeros, let's call it as result 1. Now to find the sum and product using coefficients. So the sum will be equal to sum, that is alpha plus beta, is equal to minus b upon a. So minus b will be minus of minus 7 and a will be 6. So the sum of the zeros using coefficients is equal to 7 by 6. Now product of the coefficients will be c upon a. So c here is minus 3 and a is 6. Now 3 and 6 are multiples of 3, so we can cancel them. 3 ones are 3 and 3 twos are 6. So what is left is minus 1 by 2. So the product is minus 1 by 2. So the sum and product, we can say that the sum is 7 by 6 and the product is minus 1 by 2. Now again here sum of zeros using the coefficients is 7 by 6 and sum of product of zeros using the coefficients is minus 1 by 2. So in both the cases you can see, now let us call it as result 2 and you can compare both the results. So we can write comparing result 1 and result 2 and we can compare and we can see that both the results are same or both the results are equal. So we can say comparing result 1 and 2. We can see that result 1 is equal to result 2. So hence this is verified.